Across the globe, there are places which aspire to provide the most exclusive of holiday experiences. Luxurious.
What I am doing is the best you can get in the moment.
Adventurous.
Oh my God, lions! Oh my goodness!
And sometimes quirky.
He is one of the most famous guests, and he has a fan club. He has an Instagram of over 10,000 followers.
But what challenges do these hotels face, and how do they strive to be a top destination?
Anybody could have bricks and mortar in the right location, but in order to stay relevant, I do think it's important to innovate.
With exclusive access, we go behind the scenes.
All right, now let me take you to one of our specialty suites.
Following the staff who work around the clock.
Guys, we need to be fast, yeah? The guest is waiting.
To deliver to their guests whatever it takes to impress.
When you go from one room to the other, you go into another piece of art.
You notice the view is like no other in the world.
All our guests love fantasy and happiness.
We take care of every guest and make them feel like kings.
From Asia to Arizona, Kenya to the Caribbean, Dubai to India. Step behind the scenes of some of the world's most incredible hotels. This time we're in the UK, a country recognised for its rich history and classic regal elegance. And two very different hotels, which try to embody the very best of these characteristics and deliver a slice of luxury. Just off the south coast of England, standing majestically in the Solent, between the historic naval city of Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight, two unique hotels have risen from the sea. So how did two former military forts transform into a unique retreat for those who want to get away from it all? And how do you maintain quality in the middle of the sea?
These are very special areas, very special historic landmarks in Portsmouth. I'm lucky enough to actually work on one of these. We've converted it, we've turned it into something I think truly amazing and truly special. It brings up the child in everybody, and that's what it's about.
It's so unique, I don't think there's anyone else really doing it out there. It's like your own private island for 24 hours.
This is like Disneyland for adults.
Spitbank Fort and its neighbour No Man's Fort were built in the 1870s to protect the UK against an invasion from the French. And thanks to their sensitive restoration, these former defences now offer their guests modern accommodation, combined with all the character of the sea fort's unique maritime history.
You would have had a 45 to 75 tonne gun in place in each of these rooms, all with their own unique features. Hole in the floor where they used to go fishing, anti-aircraft hoist going up to the top deck, brickwork riddled with ricochet bullets where the Royal Marines used to come out in the 20th century.
After protecting Britain against German U-boats during the Second World War, the forts were finally decommissioned by the British Army in 1958. Their remote location in the middle of the Solent may make for an unusual hotel experience for their clientele, but for the staff who make the daily early morning commute, it doesn't come without its challenges.
Okay guys, watch your step on again.
It's not a lot of people I know who can say they have to get a boat to work every morning, and it's quite a selling point when you talk to friends and people. So. Nature of the sea, it changes all the time. The worst I've had was before we were on the Jenny boats. So whilst we were just Spitbank, we used to use our smaller Solent Forts cat that only had 12 seats total. and the worst was the waves rolling over the top and hitting the back of the boat. Yeah, that was quite choppy. It was an interesting journey.
Luckily for Craig, the weather for the 30-minute journey out to No Man's Fort this morning is calm and sunny. And with the hotel's 23 deluxe suites to prepare, there's plenty for staff to do as they arrive on board. For Fort Director Quentin O'Shea, the fort's impenetrable armour plating is just the start of guests' experience of the unusual heritage of this hotel.
This is the first impression our guests get when they come in here. The noir, the dark entrance. A lot of people at this point think of what did we get ourselves involved in. And then we've got the 5-ton steel door that was protected. The only entrance in and out the fort, even till today. And in the old days, if something would have gone wrong, everybody would have pulled these pins out and the 5-ton door would actually close into place, as you can see, and nobody will come in or out. If you'd like to follow me, please. Wow, lighthouse. 360 view of where we are at the moment, and actually just gives everybody a good sense of the scale of where we are at the moment. Starting with obviously the Isle of Wight, our closest point of call there. Panning around to the busiest, probably one of the busiest sea routes into Southampton Harbour. And then if you go a little further around and past the Navy boat coming into a very important naval harbour, we've got Portsmouth Harbour itself with the Spinnaker Tower as a pointer for us to where the ships come in and out.
It was these epic panoramic views which inspired the owner of the forts, Mike Clare, to turn this unusual location into a hotel.
I was sort of successful in retailing. I used to buy and sell a load of beds, a company called Dreams. And then when I sold that, I wasn't ready to retire, so I loved property basically, and we bought some unusual properties, a monastery and castles in Scotland, and these forts became available.
Converting Spitbank and No Man's Forts into the unique getaways they are today was a mammoth task.
We're very sympathetic. We want to keep all the history, so there are certain things we do need to do. They've all got to have ensuite bathrooms, people want all their normal facilities, they want their Wi-Fi, they've got to comply with their health and safety regulations and fire escapes and things. But on the other hand, we want to keep this as people can see and see how it was. So we hopefully got the balance right.
Just over 75 miles away, in the heart of London, is a very different kind of hotel which boasts an equally historic past. Located in affluent St James and Mayfair, Duke's Hotel occupies a prime position as a close neighbour to the British royal family, only 5 minutes' walk from Buckingham Palace. With over 110 years of history, the pressure is always on to maintain standards.
We're so fortunate that we've got this beautiful little private courtyard, so elegant and so special in a wonderful place like St James. Duke's Hotel has a great history. It originally goes back historically years ago to when the Dukes used to stay here. The courtyard where we're sitting now was actually the turning courtyard for the horses. So the horses used to come down here and the courtyard was actually made so it was just the correct width for the horse and cart to actually turn.
Only a few minutes away from London's busy shopping districts, the hotel's secluded location aims to offer its guests a welcome escape from the capital's crowded streets. Taxi driver Alan Warner has been ferrying guests to and from this exclusive address since the 1950s.
This is all Piccadilly we're on. We're arriving in a few minutes at Piccadilly Circus. It's very quiet there, like being in the countryside. You can hardly hear any noise, you won't hear anything, just birds singing. And yet, a few feet away is the hustle and bustle of the city.
First opened in 1908, today the venue offers a top-end restaurant, its own health club, and a world-famous bar. And with each of its 90 bedrooms costing a minimum of £350 a night, although the mode of transport to the hotel may have changed, its clientele hasn't.
They're all wealthy, comfortable people, well-travelled people. To find the hotel, you need to be well-travelled. And it's got a wonderful reputation. Food's good, living there is good, comfortable. Porters and staff are all first class. They won't employ anybody unless they are first class. So you can't do much better than that, can you? We're just pulling in to a very narrow street, St James's Place. I'm going to have to reverse in because you can't drive in and turn round. There is no room.
Access to the hotel may be tricky, but it's this feeling of privacy combined with the long history and traditional British values which made it a favourite place to relax for Diana, Princess of Wales. Since taking over the reins 10 years ago, Managing Director Deborah Duggar has worked hard to try and keep the hotel as one of London's most revered places to stay.
When I first started at the hotel, it was quite challenging because the hotel had historically always had a male general manager in the hotel. So I was the first female general manager. A lot of people think, well, what does it really take to run a hotel? Well, for me, you have to have lots of different hats on it because in the morning, you can be down in the breakfast room and you can be welcoming your guests and wishing them a wonderful morning. And then at 10 o'clock, you can be in a revenue meeting doing all the strategic sides of actually running the business.
Can we get the candles lit, please, on this tier? Can we get the candles?
For Deborah, great hospitality is all in the details. So every day she makes her morning rounds, checking in with each department to ensure the hotel's 120 members of staff are providing guests with only the highest standards of service.
From the minute that you actually arrive, should that be in your taxi, should that be with your chauffeur, or however you may be on foot, it's about your bag being taken away from you from the minute that you enter that door, not having to make a cup of tea yourself, your cup of tea actually made and delivered and poured for you.
For those few who can afford the almost £2,500 a night price tag, the prestigious penthouse suite offers the hotel's highest level of luxury and refinement. Head housekeeper KK Prabhakaran tries to ensure this home away from home is worth every penny.
This is a suite lift which will take up to the penthouse suite, which is 511 Duke of Clarence suite. Every suite has got its name, named after either a duchess or a duke.
Duke's Hotel is very historic and we never want to change what it is. So yes, we invest in the hotel, but we really don't want to actually change what the hotel is. So when we do invest, we make sure that we keep that wonderful classic experience and that elegant look to the hotel.
We have maintained a client base and guests do come back because they don't feel that they're coming to an hotel, rather they come to stay with their family. Now we are into the penthouse and as you could see, everything's right from the start of the bedroom. So you got burnt chinas, like designer china.
Attention to detail, it's everything in five-star delivery, whether that's down to the flowers, down to the linen you use, the Egyptian cotton sheets in your bedroom. Attention to detail is key. And if people are spending a lot of money, they're looking for something special. They're not just looking for the run-of-the-mill five-star hotel, they're really looking for that uber luxury experience. And I like to believe at Duke's, it's the uber luxury experience that we deliver.
As you could see, we got beautiful view from our balcony, which will give you a view of the Green Park, Westminster Abbey. So Penthouse offers a Super King bed, which is massive, which our guests love the minute they walk into the room. The best part of any bedroom, like especially when they walk into a penthouse, the first thing attracts is our mascot, Dukesy.
Sometimes, when the guests staying here have something different in mind for their stay, it's KK's job to ensure all their needs are met, no matter what.
Every guest is different. Some might be quirky, some might be really unusual. A guest who stays with us in this particular room, they want this room to be turned into a yoga room. So we have to move away all the furnitures completely, and we get yoga mat, Buddha. As housekeepers, we are prepared for any such request, and that's why the guests pay a premium to come and stay with us.
With fierce competition from London's hotel scene, Deborah hopes these personal touches and attention to detail extend across all of the 90 luxury bedrooms to make sure they stand out from the crowd. For those who can't quite afford the penthouse, the hotel's Duchess suites offer the same on a smaller scale.
Duchess rooms we actually brought into our inventory around about 5 years ago. We're really short of rooms for great business travellers in London. So one of the things that I decided to introduce was just lovely things, what the female traveller is really looking for when they're away on business. So the sort of things that we brought into the room was the beautiful fresh flowers, the amenities, the personal welcome letter from myself, and the florist candle, of course. We work really, really close with florists.
As perfumers to the royal family, Floris holds a prestigious reputation. And with their showroom just around the corner from the hotel, they make bespoke scented candles for use in the guest rooms.
Been here since 1730, and this is the original shop that was set up by my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather all those years ago. And we have fragrances that date back to the very first days, to the 1700s.
The hotel and the perfumier, both historic institutions, work together with the aim of giving their customers memories that last.
We're very proud that we supply Duke's Hotel. It's lovely to keep the spirit of St James's alive, to all work together and celebrate our rich heritage. This is a fragrance called Zafiro, and this is the fragrance that we supply within the rooms. People will come in, sometimes when they're staying at Duke's, other times afterwards, just because they want to be reminded of their stay. They've had such a wonderful time staying there, and it's been such a special memory for them.
Surrounded by the waters of the Solent, Spitbank Fort also offers its own unique experiences. Anyone who can afford a night's stay in one of the 9 bedrooms has the opportunity to travel back in time. The hotel's manager, Kyle Allen, is on hand to bring the proud history of this fort to life.
Just through here we can sort of get our bearings of the entire fort. If you follow me, we'll head through into the courtyard and get a general orientation of Spitbank Fort. So from here we can see the Victory Bar. Usually in the afternoon we serve some afternoon tea through there. It's very popular. The chefs come through, send some fort-made cakes in from our modern galley. Here we're currently in a cannon deck. We have a raise here on the floor used to manoeuvre the direction of fire of cannons. And we've got hooks and eyes on the ceiling used to lift these guns up to 10 tons apiece. These guns will have weighed.
3 times smaller than its sister No Man's Fort, this fort hopes to offer a boutique and intimate hotel experience.
Okay, so making your way out of the modern accommodation, we'll head up and take in the views around us. So you don't need to join a gym to work here.
The unique setting of the fort gives visitors access to something totally different in the hotel world.
We're heading past our fire pit here, so that'll be lit later on this evening. Blankets, marshmallows, tots of rum. It's all good fun. Just through here, we'll head through to the anti-aircraft platform. We are in the sort of heart of the historic Solent here. We've got the Merry Rose Buoy, where the Merry Rose famously sank of its own accord. Henry VIII would have been at Southsea Castle to witness his pride and joy, the Merry Rose sink. From here, get a great view of Spitbank Fort itself.
Although access to the sea may not be a problem on the forts, getting fresh running water out to their remote location was always a concern.
You can almost see how the soldiers used to live out here. We've got 8 wash basins just here, which was the only point of sanitation available for those 150 or so soldiers who used to stay on board.
But as the venue was developed, the fort revealed that its previous occupants had come up with an ingenious solution.
The thing that I love about this place is that we source our own water. So down in the lower parts of the fort, we have our own pump house.
The forts have a well that goes through the sea, through the seabed and into an underground river that comes from France. Forts were ironically built to defenders from the French, and now we're sort of stealing their water, so that's quite fun.
The best tasting water ever as well. When I go back on land, I find it really hard to drink water from the taps over there because out here we have the best water. Sparkling spit and still spit.
No Man's Fort also has its own underground well. But it takes more than their artisan water for the hotels to meet their guests' high expectations. With only one restaurant in each hotel and the closest alternative a choppy boat trip away on the Isle of Wight, executive chef Paul Golding has to work hard to ensure his menus cater to every taste.
I'm a local boy, so I enjoy everything that's about Portsmouth, but the forts especially. I looked out on them all my life and then I end up working here, so it's really good. We run our menus seasonally, so you get 4 changes of menus a year, spring, summer, autumn and winter. So in the spring and the summer and some of autumn, food's quite abundant. All the fresh produce from the Isle of Wight and Hampshire, etc. we can use.
Providing fine dining in the middle of the sea not only relies on having the right skills, but no small measure of creativity in the kitchen.
We've had occasions where we have been stuck on here for a couple of days, and so we've had to do things like stretch the food out. We always have a few tricks up our sleeve. We make our own bread, so you can make a different sort of bread for the next day. We're in the sea, so there's plenty of fresh fish around, so we have to just be a bit clever, really.
Luckily for Paul, the weather hasn't stopped his experienced team of chefs making it to the fort's kitchen. Because today they have to prepare for a very special event.
We're prepping today for what we call a fort discovery lunch. So I've got 65 non-residential people coming over, and we're going to give them a 3-course lunch, which includes a chestnut and duck terrine with truffle oil and sticky fig relish. And then we're following that with French corn-fed chicken with braised cabbage and nice fresh tender stem broccoli.
With the success of today's event hinging on Paul and his team serving 195 plates of the highest quality food, he's asked his senior pastry chef Maya to come up with some ideas for a new seasonal dessert to wow their guests.
She'll create you a unique birthday cake. She'll create you unique chocolates. She only asked me to order the best ingredients. We're using cocoa berry chocolate, single origin.
You can actually single out each plantation that the chocolate comes from. So we have them from Tanzania, from Dominican Republic and Mexico, for example, and you can really taste the difference in these chocolates, which I'm trying to pick for our guests.
She's always looking in books. She goes for a lot of work experience in places like Harrods. Anything she can to gain a bit of an experience. And she brings that back to the fort and she blows us all away.
With the final addition of some gold leaf, Maya finishes her latest creation.
It's basically a vodka and gin cheesecake with summer pickles and toasted marshmallow. I love to surprise and inspire our guests, so we do put our heart and soul into what we are serving to our guests, and I do hope that they enjoy staying over.
I'm happy to assist you. Which restaurant would you like?
At Duke's Hotel, executive head chef Nigel Mendham believes in sourcing only the finest ingredients to create his one-of-a-kind dishes.
So the restaurant here is all-day dining. We open from 12 at lunchtime all the way through till 10:30. The philosophy of the food is sharing plates, so we do small plates, large plates. We have to be five-star expectations all the time. You know, what we produce, what we do, what we use, everything has to be five-star.
As part of the hotel's Great British Restaurant, Nigel and his team are proud to have classic dishes on the menu, but with a difference. And today it's full steam ahead as they prepare for a fully booked lunch sitting.
Just good homely cooking like this one is a good example really. It's a shepherd's pie that you'd get at home, but we just put a little twist on it and make it a bit more interesting for the customer instead of just coming for a shepherd's pie basically. It's a bit more, you know, oh wow. A little bit of salt on it. So we're just going to seal the meat first. Well, because we're in London, I mean, the places to eat is quite diverse of where people can go. So we get in-house guests come down, but also we have outside guests walk in as well. We have quite a mixture of varied clientele. Then once that's sealed off all sides, just going to put it in the oven for 6 or 7 minutes, just for nice medium rare. Then we're going to let it rest. And while it's resting, we're just going to do the shepherd's pie up. Everything we do is predominantly British ingredients, so there's no point buying something that's mediocre and trying to make it work, because it doesn't happen. You know, you buy a bad cut of meat or something, you stand no chance of making it good. So yeah, quality ingredients, great team, success. And then the lamb sauce to finish the plate.
With lunch over, diners are free to explore the sights and sounds of the city. For many customers, part of the appeal of staying at the hotel is having some of the capital's most luxurious boutiques on their doorstep. So, to give her guests that truly special shopping experience, it's up to Deborah to maintain great relationships with these local businesses.
Hi Mike, morning. How are you?
Good to see you. How are
Good
you?
to see you. Good, yeah. I was just passing, so I thought I'd pop in.
Founded in 1676, Lock & Co. is the world's oldest hat shop and a favourite venue for some guests who specifically choose to stay at the hotel while they get measured up for their new bespoke headwear.
The thing about Lock & Co. is it's very much the opposite of any sort of corporate business you can think of. If you work here, you become part of the family. There's almost like a sense of being at home. You know, I think when people come here, the space is theirs, so we don't jump on people. It's their place, their little sort of secret they know. And places like Duke's, I think, sort of are really sort of at the forefront of that, because effectively it's a little bit hidden, it's a little bit special, and I think it's, you know, it's a place that other people wouldn't sort of know. So I think for the people that do know, it's something that's special, you know, in that respect.
Whilst the location of the London hotel gives its clientele unlimited access to some of the capital's best shopping and culture, guests who choose to stay on Solent Forts are able to fully disconnect from the stresses of daily life, thanks to their remote location 2 kilometres off the historic naval city of Portsmouth. It's this remote location which gives logistics manager David Martin and his team the challenge of making sure that both fort locations are kept fully stocked to provide for their guests' every need.
There is no other companies out there doing what we're doing, so the logistics side of things we've had to learn it ourselves. Trucks don't just pull up outside and we unload straight into the kitchens. It has to come here. The best way to sort of look at it would be sort of import-export. So everything comes in on the Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday it all gets shipped out, and then again on Thursday all comes in again fresh, and then it all goes out on Friday. So nothing here is kept. It is all sort of comes in and goes out within sort of 24 hours.
With over 60 guests due to arrive for their discovery lunch on No Man's Fort in just a few hours, it's up to David and his crew to make sure today's kitchen delivery arrives on time.
So as you can see today, there is a bit of spray coming over the side. The deck is getting wet. You know, you've got to get everything on pallets, up off the floor. You've got other sort of lighter goods all in the hard boxes, so they can't get wet at all.
Thanks to the weather, by the time David and his team dock their boat at the fort, they're already running behind schedule. And to make matters worse, as they begin to unload their precious cargo, another boat arrives, which could mean an even bigger delay.
Tim, that's the boat that's coming to get the guests. So we might just have to pull away. Yeah. So because our timing's off a little bit today, that is the boat that's coming to collect the guests. So the barge is just going to pull away for 10 minutes, let that come in, let the guests disappear, and then we'll carry back on.
From the gangway above, an anxious executive head chef, Paul Golding, can only hope he'll still get his 195 plates of food out on time.
We always give way to the guest boat, and now that they have gone, we come back alongside and carry on unloading all the stores. Have you asked him about that cress? Why is that stuff not in a box? If you jump off there, I'll lower it down.
With their vital supplies finally being unloaded, it's time for the staff to step it up a gear.
We're a bit pushed for time. Obviously the guest boat is on the way now. We're going to get all towed around in the next sort of 15-20 minutes to get all the guests welcome on board. Obviously the food's just arrived. Chef's got to unpack it all, cook it before lunch, which we've got 64 people arriving very shortly. Bit of a mad time of the day really, a lot's going on. No matter what happens, the show must go on and we're always here and we always deliver. Makes it more challenging and certainly more fun. Guys, you've got 10 minutes until the boat comes. You're right to get all still cleared, yeah? Thank you very much.
We're about 20 minutes from them sitting down, so just making sure everything's ready and hot and tasty. It's organised chaos is what it is, but yeah, it's on time. Everything's on time, so it's always tight schedule. There's always something to catch us out, so we just do what we do.
Finally, in typical Fort style, lunch is called.
It's the main course going out. So currently on the plate we've got a puree of fresh Isle of Wight tomatoes with truffle mash. We've got heritage carrots been roasted through with star anise and honey. And then we're finishing with some braised creamed cabbage. And then on top of that, we're going to put a nice breast of corn-fed chicken. So yeah, it's a typical lunch. And then finally I'm finishing it off with a red wine and tarragon jus. Can I hurry up, please?
Despite a stressful morning getting their food shipment in for this event, the team on No Man's Fort have delivered the high-end cuisine they promised, and on time. And all head chef Paul can do is make sure dessert is as good as the main course. Back in London, as guests return from a busy day on the town, there's no letting up for staff at Duke's.
Good afternoon, Duke's London concierge Ian speaking. How may I help?
And in the hotel's drawing room, it's all about cakes.
We have a lot of international guests coming to Duke's Hotel to stay here because it's a very quintessential British hotel and we are very proud of our tradition. And one of the things that they say is that the afternoon tea here is very special and that they love Duke's because of it. We are an old hotel, and all throughout the hotel you see the presence of history in our walls, in our paintings that we have. And so it is very important to keep the tradition of the afternoon tea alive. The most special thing about the afternoon tea is the experience that you have. You have your butler serving your tea. We tend to not let people grab the pot of tea so that you can have the whole experience of the aristocracy on the 18th century. I serve my guests the way I like to be served when I go wherever I go. So, of course, it is very important to keep the guests happy and give them the attention that they want to have.
The drawing room here was a favourite place to unwind for Diana, Princess of Wales. And like every aspect of the hotel, Deborah and her team aim to maintain the popularity of the drawing room by adding their own take on the traditional British afternoon tea.
The martinis here at Duke's are very special and very famous. We felt the need to have or to create martini afternoon tea as well. So now we have mini martinis to pair with the food that we have in the afternoon.
Duke's is renowned for many things, but one of the things that must be at its top of its list is its bar. People actually queue up to 2 hours to get into Duke's bar. It's said to be renowned for one of the best bars in the world. It's a great experience. I say it's more like theatre. It's not like going into a bar, it's like theatre.
The man who holds centre stage here is world-renowned bar manager Alessandro Palazzi, who's been at the hotel 11 years.
I rather worked in a hotel than just a normal cocktail bar. Hotel is like a village. Bartending is not just making drink. That's the easy part. It's the experience you give. So like I said, this is more like a club. There's no music, there's no food. The noise comes from the drink, from us making noise. And that's the beauty about it. It's not just making drinks, it's actually put people together.
As a former haunt for author Ian Fleming, the martini here is said to be the inspiration for his famous hero James Bond's favourite tipple. Alessandro's now brought the drink right into the 21st century.
So the most famous why a lot of people come here is for the martini. But again, being Duke's Hotel, we don't like to do the classic way. We shake and stir in a different way. So first of all, what we do is Duke's Bar was the first one in the world to use a trolley, service trolley. And then my mentor to freeze the gin or vodka, so that's what we do. Frozen the glass, so that's very important. I create with a small micro distillery in Highgate called Sacred our own vermouth. Like I said, we like to do a little bit different. Instead to use a commercial vermouth, we create something which is very British. All the botanical come from UK, except the wine from Italy, where I come from, I have to put. And then we add a few drops. And people often say, do you shake or stir? I say both. So this is the stirring. This is the shaking. So I shake in the carpet. And then directly from the freezer, and again, another thing is we introduce organic lemon from Amalfi. We make a big twist and we squeeze the oil. Very simple, but the first thing that will come to your nose is the citrus and then the feeling of the gin. But because it's frozen alcohol has got a delay reaction, we limit it to a person. Because also you have to think, what looks like a small glass, there's a 5 shots of pure alcohol. So it's quite strong, like James Bond.
The ability of hotels like Solent Forts and Duke's London to try and provide their own special experiences day after day, no matter what the challenge is what they hope keeps their customers coming back.
You're going to get off that boat not knowing what to expect, and from then on you're treated as a king or queen and you're going to enjoy yourself. And once you get off, you're going to want to come back.
For me, any guest who's coming to Duke's, I would love them to leave with a memory. I'd like them to leave with a smile on their face, with the fact that they thought, wow, I was really well looked after, the staff looked after me, they were there, and I didn't have to ask for anything.
In the Solent, the Spitbank and No Man's Fort hotels are the realisation of a dream for owner Mike Clare.
Had a rough idea of what I thought potentially they would end up like, which is sort of where they are. But there wasn't a budget and there wasn't an exact plan of how we were going to deal with the generators or the landing stages or the well and get all the licenses and all the things that we had to do. But I was just like, that was my passion. It was my project. It's what I did. It's my hobby, if you want. So it was just entrepreneurial sort of, I'm going to go for it and just do it and I'll make it work.
It isn't your usual sort of 5-star boutique hotel, from the logistics of getting food and beverage on board to be delivered out here to Spitbank, to getting our guests to and from hotel as well. It's a very complex operation.
Whether it's exploring history in the unique setting of the Solent Forts, or enjoying exclusivity and British regal elegance in the heart of London, it's thanks to dedicated staff that each guest's dream is turned into a reality.
That's what 5-star management is about. It's not just about doing great things on great days, it's about managing the challenging days also.
We have had staff here who stay for years. You develop that sense of loyalty because you know you're part of something special.
That is one of the classy hotels. Oh, I'd love to stay there, but a bit out of my price bracket, unfortunately.
Across the globe, there are places which aspire to provide the most exclusive of holiday experiences. Luxurious.
What I am doing is the best you can get in the moment.
Adventurous.
Oh my God, lions! Oh my goodness!
And sometimes quirky.
He is one of the most famous guests, and he has a fan club. He has an Instagram of over 10,000 followers.
But what challenges do these hotels face, and how do they strive to be a top destination?
Anybody could have bricks and mortar in the right location, but in order to stay relevant, I do think it's important to innovate.
With exclusive access, we go behind the scenes.
All right, now let me take you to one of our specialty suites.
Following the staff who work around the clock.
Guys, we need to be fast, yeah? The guest is waiting.
To deliver to their guests whatever it takes to impress.
When you go from one room to the other, you go into another piece of art.
Notice the view is like no other in the world.
All our guests love fantasy and happiness.
We take care of every guest and make them feel like kings.
From Asia to Arizona, Kenya to the Caribbean, Dubai to India. Step behind the scenes of some of the world's most incredible hotels. This time, we're in Italy, said to be the birthplace of Western civilization. This country is a popular destination throughout the world, thanks to its ancient history and architecture, chic fashion scene, and delicious regional food. It's also home to 2 incredible hotels, which hope to embody the very best of their own regional history and culture, set against some of the country's most iconic and stunning backdrops. Together, they combine a host of high-end facilities, which include a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant and a one-of-a-kind thermal spa. How do they give their guests an unforgettable experience? With almost 3,000 years of history and culture on display, Rome is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. And in the hills, overlooking the city, only 2 miles from the Vatican, is a hotel whose guests expect nothing less than perfection.
The Rome Cavalieri is an oasis. It's a luxury city resort. You can enjoy presidential suites, which have all the trappings that make it an incredibly comfortable stay, that make this really unforgettable experience to be here.
What we and the Rome Cavalieri doing is to try to give to our customers a life experience.
You have to focus about the guest profile, the needs that he will have. As long as we have passion, we can realize all the dreams of the guest.
First opened in 1963 by legendary hotelier Conrad Hilton, this hotel was designed to cater to the glitz and glamour of the Hollywood film industry, who'd chosen Rome as its favourite movie location. With its 370 luxurious bedrooms, set within 15 acres of magnificent parkland, it's now the Eternal City's largest 5-star hotel. But what does it take to make each room reach that high standard? Executive housekeeper Edwige Francis looks after the prestigious 8th floor.
We are going just to rush a little bit because we have a very, very important guest who is arriving. So I would like to check all the details. I want to double check if my team made a great job and to see that everything is perfect.
The imperial floors, they are very executive floors where the guests they enjoy an extra facilities which are a concentration of suites that are very unique.
Edwige heads up to the penthouse, where her team are busy making sure it lives up to its reputation as the hotel's most exclusive accommodation. Apart from its 200 square meters of sumptuous interiors, which feature Karl Lagerfeld furniture, artwork by Andy Warhol, and Swarovski crystal taps, guests who pay the £10,000 a night to stay in the penthouse also expect impeccable attention to detail.
Okay, so let's see the last details, if everything is fine. Snacks, very nice. I know that the guests love those flowers, so I hope they will be very, very happy. Okay. Very comfortable. I would love to sleep, but I don't have time. They are arriving.
Edwige and her team work hard before a guest arrives to make sure the room is what they expect, even when they have special requests.
So we had this famous violinist. She came, so she had requested lots of things. So completely silence, no housekeeping service, no minibar service. The temperature of the rooms needs to be with a certain degree. We really need to respect those types of requests.
If you don't have this passion for people and in the sense customers and also team members, it can be very challenging to perform as the level that is requested.
Okay, so these are the linen that we do have just for the penthouse suite. It's special cotton and silk. Then we have the embroidery of the initials. We do this on the pillowcases, and then we'll do it also on the bathrobe and on the linen that we put on the top. Please, Sonia, check your final details. Are you happy with the bed?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You think it's perfect?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect?
Yeah.
Okay.
The hotel isn't just a place to sleep and relax. It's also home to La Pergola, Rome's only 3 Michelin-starred restaurant, under the command of internationally celebrated head chef Heinz Beck.
If you look at the hotel sort of like a layered cake, and if you were to pick, I guess, a cherry on top, it would probably be Heinz, obviously, in La Pergola. There's something about, dining with Heinz, sort of experiencing his plates and his artistry, and of course enjoying, I think, the most incredible view of Rome at your feet.
You see, creating a dish, the first step is the imagination. Then I start to work, and then the taste has to be balanced, to give you emotions. Then I will go into the nutrition part to look how can I act to make it more easy to digest and more healthy. And in the end, I will look that it looks beautiful as well. People coming to my restaurant, they want to have sensation, they want to dining in a perfect way, and they will get emotions. But in this, what I am doing is the best you can get in the moment.
Anyone wanting to dine at La Pergola often has to go on a waiting list that can be 3 months long. For those willing to wait, this restaurant aims to deliver a Mediterranean food experience, which combines the best quality, unique ingredients, and a special attention to detail. Heinz has given exclusive access to his kitchen to witness his creativity at work.
And in Italy, we are very known about buffalo mozzarella, but I will do another dish. I don't make a mozzarella dish. I have here an affumicated buffalo ricotta, then a slightly grilled buffalo, very few seconds. It's between a carpaccio and the grilled, tasty, flavored meat. We are not using salt because we are using a type of soya, but the soya we're doing in Italy, and it's done with pea chicks. I wanted to become a painter, and for this, for me, the artistic part is very important, but not important as the health part, because a dish has to be very, very nice, very, very good, giving emotion, but on top on this, the most important, to be easy to digest. After the tomato, we put iced bonbons of ricotta, very beautifully. So now is ready our fantastic Mediterranean dish.
Over 300 kilometres to the north of Rome is another classic Italian hotel, nestled in rolling Tuscan countryside between the cities of Florence, Pisa and Lucca. The Grotta Gusti embraces its local culture and traditions. Guests here are often looking to swap the buzz of the city for a much slower pace of life. Barbara Guidi is the marketing manager.
I do the most beautiful job in the world. From my window, I hear the birds singing. I have wood in front of me, trees. So when I'm having the Skype calls with people all over the world in crazy cities, whatever, they hear these wonderful sounds and they say, "Where are you? Are you on holiday?" No, actually, I'm in my office.
The hotel dates back to the 19th century, when it was originally built as the country residence of local aristocrats, the Gusti family. The hotel today has many original features from this period, with beautifully frescoed walls, antique furniture, and classical paintings. There are 58 typically Italian double bedrooms and 6 suites, which have each been beautifully converted in keeping with its heritage, even down to the ensuite bathrooms, which have been clad in locally sourced precious white marble. On the surface, the Tuscan villa hopes to present old-world charm. But below ground, this hotel hides an amazing surprise that attracts guests from around the world.
I think the most incredible thing in Grotta Giusti and what it makes the difference with the others is our thermal cave, our grotto.
The grotto, natural grotto, is a wonder of the world. You know, it's natural. This is a thermal lake inside. As impossible to reproduce artificially, and something is unique. Is a unique experience to stay there.
The grotto may be ancient, but it's a relatively new discovery, only uncovered in 1849 by the then owners, the Gusti family.
They didn't know they had this fantastic jewel under their house. The Giusti owned a limestone quarry, and during when the laborers removed a big stone, they found the entrance to the cave, and they couldn't imagine what was waiting for them down, because when they went down, they found stalactites and stalagmites hanging from the walls, rising from ground, and mainly they found a little pond of fantastic crystal clear water and heat coming from this water.
Divided into 3 areas, aptly named Heaven, Purgatory and Hell, guests who venture inside the grotto can use the 33-degree health-enhancing benefits of its therapeutic steam and pools to gently unwind. The hot vapours have become a popular destination for spa lovers looking for a natural thermal spa experience. Nazareno Freda has held the role of cave keeper for 2 decades, and today he's giving a tour.
Gli do questo saio, Ok. Allora si può cambiare, può togliere anche il costume, dopodiché il suo accappatoio lo metteremo in questo calorifero.
Guests, when arrived to the cave, they wear a specific uniform, spa uniform. So it's a bit strange for them to go in this tunic. It's not like a robe that you wear in a regular spa. So they feel a bit embarrassed. What's happening here? And he welcomes them. He gives to them all the towels, the warm ones, and he literally takes them down to the grotto. He knows every rock. He knows every single hidden corner because he's been working here for many years, and he's really aware of the jewel he has to responsibility for, because this is Mother Nature's gift.
The underground grotto also hosts many of the hotel's spa experiences.
We can organize other activities in the cave, such as thermal yoga, that is the new treatment that we have introduced.
And stay the Trikonasana position. 6, inhale up. Exhale, turn to the left and flex your spine, your left hand on your left leg. Look at your right hand. 6 long breaths.
Above ground, the grotto's thermal properties are also behind the hotel's other facilities, which include its naturally heated swimming pools. Every morning, it's up to the hotel's resident expert on thermal therapy, Dr. Nicola Fortunati, to ensure the miracle water is kept at its best.
Tutto bene? Tutto a posto? Tutto a posto. You know, for the Italian, for the Mediterranean culture, is in our root the thermal therapy, the thermal institute from the Roman, Etruscan, and for us it's so easy, and so normal, so usual to take care of our health by thermal water. First of all, thermal water effect is anti-inflammatory effect. It's very powerful, and in this period there is the scientific evidence. All the scientific international community agree that a lot of disease in our century, in Western country, comes from inflammation. We can use this water for specific problem, for a chronic disease, for lung, for example, or for eye respiratory way, or for skin, or joints problem, arthritis. Gift of the God, if you believe.
Back in Rome, the gods are one of the main attractions, with ancient sites being a huge draw for every visitor. So, to give their guests an unforgettable experience, the hotel staff have created a driving tour, which takes in the city's most popular tourist sites.
There are those who are more nostalgic. They've seen Roman Holiday, they've seen Dolce Vita, so they're looking for something more vintage. This really, again, ties everything to the culture of the city, and it's an extra experience that we like to offer our guests.
Down in reception, Austria-born head concierge Markus Dobritzhofer is getting ready for a practice run of his newest tour. One which pays homage both to Rome and the Cavalieri's long historical connection with Hollywood.
One of my favorite experiences for sure is the Dolce Vita experience, together with the 500 old-timer Italian car. We will bring you around in the city, and together with a paparazzo photographer, we will take some hidden pictures of some of really very scenic locations in Rome.
Since he started at the hotel in 1998, Markus has gained an intimate knowledge of the city, perfect for planning the best route through the notoriously chaotic traffic and introducing guests to its rich history and vibrant culture.
big city like Rome, you never finish to discover. It's always something new to explore, to re-explore, to study again. The old Roman-style cuisine restaurants you can find here. A very, very romantic place with a lot of tiny restaurants, tiny streets, very lively in the evening, a lot of young people around. And it's part of the middle-aged city center. It's very, very lively, especially on the weekends. It's like being a bit a film star of the 60s.
With its small frame and classic Italian looks, the Fiat 500 is perfect for transporting guests in style through the capital's busy streets, giving them a fully immersive experience of the rich history and culture of this ancient metropolis. But between sightseeing, it's the Italian food that keeps tourists returning year on year. And every week, the hotel hosts a very popular Sunday brunch.
One of the things that's very important in Italian culture is family time. And that all comes together at our Sunday brunch. I think why it's one of the most, if not the most appreciated brunch in Rome.
This popular event opens its doors to non-guests too, whatever their age.
We have the kids club, the IT club, which is also open, so the parents can enjoy the brunch while the little ones are also enjoying their time.
In Italy, each region is defined as much by its food as its history. Executive chef Fabio Buscero and his team like to include a variety of culinary offerings from every part of the country.
Our brunch is like a marketplace. We can meet in each corner a live station. So we have here, for example, we have the corner with the roasted or baked fish and meat.
And no Italian meal would be complete without fresh pasta.
See this? This we do here. See? This is a tagliolini chef with cacio e pepe today. Today is cacio e pepe. So this is a traditional Roman recipe. This is a chianina beef. It's a typical meat from Tuscany.
Apart from these popular Italian dishes, Sunday brunch features cuisine from all around the globe.
Here we have sushi and sashimi. It's a Japanese station, live. Here we have the greens, the garden, the farro.
Newest member of the team, executive pastry chef Dario Nutti, has specially created some sensational cakes for any diners with a sweet tooth.
And these are our desserts for the brunch. So, this is our profiterole with zabayon. And then we have a tarte aux fruits. We have tarte au chocolat. We have a chocolate mousse inside and 2 or 3 kinds of chocolate. This is our berry. This is our New York cheesecake with merengue. And this is pistachio and mango mousse.
The hotel hopes that diners who visit the restaurant for the brunch will get a taste for what its chefs can do in the kitchen and will return for another meal soon.
The focus is to offer quality food and variety of the menu. Everybody will be happy in the end of the day because you can find what you want.
For those who want to just sit back and relax after a busy day, the hotel offers many other facilities to its guests.
As a real luxury city resort, we have a very large range of facilities, like the largest spa in Italy for an hotel with 25,000 square feet area.
Our spa is quite an incredible space. We have 3 outdoor pools, 1 indoor pool. We have a Roman bath with a sauna, and we have lots of treatment rooms and a state-of-the-art fitness center, which is also something that a lot of the locals use.
Up on the hotel's executive 8th floor, with their guest due to arrive at any moment, the final preparations are being made to the penthouse by housekeeper Edwige Francis and her team. The £10,000 price tag comes with its own private rooftop terrace, complete with spectacular views and jacuzzi.
So now I'm directly the terrace with, I think, the most beautiful view from this part of the hotel. Every time we prepare this suite, to know that it's for someone who is going to pay a lot of money, and you want to give all your passion, and you want to give all the perfection that you can give, because you know that if you choose this type of room, this means that you want everything perfect. Buongiorno, Andrea. Good morning. How are you? Fine, thanks. Okay, the sun is perfect, the fruits, the cocktail, and let's have it. We have bubbles here, but you are missing bubble, and now the guest is arriving right now. So 5 minutes, Andrea. Please open the bottle. Okay. Thank you.
Deep in the Tuscan countryside, the Grotta Gusti offers its guests a very different experience. With health-giving waters on tap, the in-house therapists have found a way to bring them into the hotel's massage rooms. Here, spa manager Claudia Benvenuti and her team have developed a selection of special skin treatments to pamper hotel residents.
We have our guests coming here very stressed because of the work and because the normal life. It's our mission to get them relaxed. We have different treatments, but probably the most sold are the facial with mud. So it's unique in the world because we have only here this kind of mud. We left the clay in the thermal water for several months. Then we use it for different therapies, such as the thermal mud at 47 degrees, that is very good for muscular pains.
While on their own, the health benefits of the unique thermal spa and grotto might just be for the body. They also play an important role as part of the hotel's very own Equilibrium wellness program.
Wellness considered as a global well-being, a balance with really between body, mind, and soul. So this is what they can do here. We train people to learn how to eat well, how to have movement, exercise in a nice way, and how to manage their stress.
Our main target is people that won't spend here at least 1 week, because 1 week is the average period where we can offer them something serious, something coherent, and something that people can feel at the end of the stay, at the end of the vacation. They can feel something is changed in their life.
The food at the hotel is not only about sourcing local ingredients to create dishes that reflect the cuisine of the region, it also provides the levels of nutrition demanded by guests on their bespoke wellness program.
The 4 pillars we have identified for well-being are nutrition, exercise, physical exercise, anti-stress techniques, or stress management, as we want to call it. These are very, let's say, simple elements, very simple, very basic, very common, but so difficult to stick to.
Nutrition is the most important tool that we have to maintain a perfect health state. And nutrition, in our case, our diet program is based on the Mediterranean diet.
The key to cooking delicious and healthy Mediterranean food is to use good quality olive oil. And head chef Guido Lotti has what he considers the best, sourced from the hotel's own olive orchard.
Ciao Antonio, come va? Tutto bene.
Every year, the hotel's olive groves produce thousands of litres of top-quality oil. And as an important ingredient in his food, Guido regularly inspects the latest crop.
Come va queste olive?
Ma quest'anno diciamo che vanno benissimo, non c'è attacco di mosca, sono sane e sono un po' piccole dovute alla siccità, però si stanno riprendendo.
Ma allora quando me lo dai l'olio?
Tra qualche settimana procederemo alla frangitura.
Bene, bene, non vedo l'ora che così almeno parto subito con i nuovi menù, la nuova carta, i nuovi piatti. Perfetto.
Bene.
In Rome, although the Cavaliere is in the middle of a bustling city, its impact on the environment around it is very important to the team. With a busy kitchen and 2 restaurants, leftovers are a particular concern.
So, food waste for us is a priority. I don't think that there really are any options about it anymore. It's a major concern. Hospitality and catering in general. And one of the things that we found is we have a local nonprofit called Equivento, and they first came to us several years ago, and they asked us to collaborate.
This afternoon, charity president Giulia Proietta is here with her team to collect leftovers from today's lunch service and get them to Rome residents who need them most.
I think this hotel is changing its business mind. It's understanding that the more they are involved with the community, the more also their reputation is going to be better. So I really like that they are experiencing with us other projects and their openness. And it was amazing because thanks to them we also got a lot of exposure, and this allowed us to replicate the model with other businesses that might be smaller but still important.
One of these smaller businesses the hotel has chosen to work with is a charity called Recuperale, based nearby at the Val de Pena brewery.
We take the bread that is left over at the end of the day, and instead of that being also thrown out, it gets actually brought to a local brewery, which also employs part-time some of the prisoners who are on a work release program to brew beer with the bread, and then we buy it back and sell it in our outlets.
In Tuscany, the Grotta Gusti's highly trained staff pride themselves on tailoring their food for each individual guest as part of the wellness program.
Our philosophy is that we give attention to nutrition, but we train people to eat well.
In the garden, nutritionist Laura Betterini is using her 17 years of experience as she instructs her latest client on how to eat well.
This is an example of your menu that you follow this week. And so your dish is a spelt. Spelt is a typical cereal of Tuscany, a very important antioxidant, similar to omega-3, that is important for the cells of nervous system.
What we try, first of all, mainly is a change of mind, to a click in your brain which says to you, okay, from now I start a new way of taking care of myself.
Armed with Laura's expert advice, and some of the finest ingredients from Tuscany, it's up to head chef Guido and his team in the hotel's kitchens to deliver the individual nutritional requirements of each guest, while making sure every dish reflects the delicious flavors that make this region of Italy famous.
Bene, qua in Toscana abbiamo dei bellissimi prodotti, abbiamo in questa stagione degli ottimi porcini, poi abbiamo dalle verdure si continua con dei pomodorini tricolore, sono pomodorini ciliegia molto particolari, un sapore intenso, buono. Naturalmente si abbinano con basilico e ci viene fuori uno spaghettino fantastico. E niente, oggi prepariamo qualche piattino per i nostri clienti a base di porcini. Buonissimo, con questo ci viene un carpaccio che è la fine del mondo. Rucola, scaglie di grana, perfetto. Questa è la niepitella, un'erba nostra, praticamente che si sposa con i porcini, è un'erba selvatica che noi la troviamo nei campi.
With Guido's dish almost ready, last but not least is the hotel's own highly prized olive oil.
Questa preparazione praticamente lo andiamo a mettere sul finale perché l'olio lasciato a crudo dà dei sapori e dei profumi particolari. Ogni olio praticamente ha un suo profumo, un suo sapore, perché dipende dalle piante che ha intorno. E lasciandolo sul finale non lo andiamo a intaccare e dà quel tocco magico al piatto.
Its nutritious, locally sourced food and unique luxury spa facilities may be the main attractions for guests. But for anyone looking to wind down after a day of detoxing, bar manager Francesco has the perfect tonic.
Now I prepare a particular drink, a wellness drink, that is composed by green apple and lettuce, banana, and lime juice, fresh lime juice. This is perfect when you exit by the grotto, because in the grotto is very high, the temperature is very hot. So you need something fresh, fresh in temperature and fresh in product too.
This wellness drink may be perfect for anyone brave enough to take on the heat of the grotto. But if a guest is after something a little stronger, Francesco caters to all requests.
There are a lot of customers, there are a lot of type of customers. Somebody asking for a wellness cocktail or an alcoholic cocktail. That is my favorite. When you arrive here at 6 o'clock, I suggest you a beautiful cocktail, with or without alcohol, because I like to prepare cocktails, so may I suggest you a cocktail with alcohol, like a Negroni.
Back in Rome, after a busy day of sightseeing, the Cavaliere also offers the perfect way for its guests to unwind.
When the day's done, people have done their business meetings, people have done their shopping downtown, they've seen their sights, they've been to the Colosseum, and the wonderful thing about retreating back to the Rome Cavaliere is the fact that you have a very welcoming lobby. You can sit down and listen to Java play some tunes. You can have a drink, a cocktail, even a dessert if you want, and it really sort of it's the culmination of sort of, I guess, your perfect day in Rome.
As the hotel's chief entertainer for over 10 years, Anthony Jaffa has seen it all.
Since I've been here, I've been seeing a lot of friends, a lot of musicians. They used to come and jam with me, like Michael Bublé, Tom Jones, and Gianna Nannini, Albano, and a lot of people. You know, when they hear me playing, they say, "Man, that guy Okay, let's go over there.
While Jaffa gets warmed up for his next show, Michelin-starred head chef Heinz Beck is exploring the restaurant's extensive vintage wine cellar.
18 of the most incredible vintages of Chateau Yquem, and there are only 10 of these boxes existing in the world. Is this a box for one of the most incredible hotels in the world?
Fine Italian food demands the finest wines. So to make sure he has the perfect selection for tonight's service, Heinz has asked head sommelier Marco Rettano to introduce him to some of his newest arrivals.
Marco, I see you have bought very beautiful new bottles.
Oh, yes,
yeah?
sure, yes. Those has just arrived, you know. This is the 2013 Giuseppe Cappellano, which is the Pierfranco. It's over 100 years old vineyard.
Marco was trained in the hotel. He was coming as a young boy, and today he is Italian's most renowned sommelier. And this is a very, very beautiful and very important, you know, in a great, incredible hotel.
Both the Grotta Gusti and Rome's Cavalieri offer guests 5-star luxury with an experience unique to their local area, set against two of Italy's most spectacular landscapes.
I think that the property is so incredible, beautiful, and it changes every single season. The perfect harmony between the different departments, the different service is fundamental in order to really please and delight all our guests.
Every day I look at the view, every day I look at the beautiful hotel. It's my fiancé. I can leave him. I love you, so I don't want to leave you.
I do the most beautiful job in the world. I'm dealing with creative, I'm dealing with wellness. I'm based here at Grotta Giusti actually, and in Tuscany, one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It's the passion amongst the staff to try and provide a unique level of service to each guest, which they hope makes staying at these hotels an incredible experience.
We have wonderful staff here, lots of team members who've been here for a very long time, and I think people who are working here that give a little extra level of not just service, but of character.
I love people who come in here because they know that they're going to a hotel whereby everything is all right. You eat good, you get good music, you see good people, good clients, and not a lot of things in the world. You see the whole world in this hotel.
1 week here is an investment for your future. And people, when they arrive here, everybody tell us, okay, I can come back at home.
For me, that's enough. And that's why I love my job.